I spent the entire relationship trying to figure out why a girl who had CEOs and athletes in her DMs picked to cuddle up with a nerdy guy in a cramped studio apartment until I heard her through her open window, telling her friends I was free therapy for her ego. She said I'd never leave her no matter what she did, that she could go to Miami with other guys, and I'd wait, that once she felt better about herself, she'd find someone on her level. But for now, I worshipped her like a god, and that's exactly what she needed after her ex, Brad, destroyed her confidence. What are the problems of dating the ultra-attractive no one talks about? I spent the entire relationship trying to figure out why a girl who had CEOs and athletes in her DMs picked to cuddle up with a nerdy guy in a cramped studio apartment. She would do weird things like hold my face and stare at me until I turned red and looked away, then get this deeply satisfied smile like she'd just won something. A month into our relationship, she just disappeared. No text, nothing. Then I saw her Instagram story on some yacht, wearing basically a string bikini, sitting on some guy's lap while he popped champagne. Videos of her dancing with a bunch of rich dudes, them doing body shots off her stomach. Best day ever! With location tag, Miami Beach. We live in Jersey. When she came back Sunday night, sunburnt and hungover, I was furious. Where the F were you? She rolled her eyes. Tom invited me to his yacht party last minute. It was a networking opportunity. Tom was some crypto guy who'd been DMing her for months. You went to Miami without telling me? She laughed. Actually laughed. It was last minute, babe. These chances don't come often. When I showed her the videos of her grinding on those guys, she shrugged. It's a boat thing. Everyone was dancing. Don't be so uptight. You're in a relationship, I yelled. Yeah, and I came back, didn't I? She ruffled my hair like I was a child. I could have stayed in Miami. Tom has this insane condo. He wanted to fly me to Ibiza next week. She pinched my cheek, but I came back to Jersey, to my little computer nerd, my anxious overthinker who's mad about a boat party. She kicked off her heels and collapsed on my bed. This was my life for a year. She'd push boundaries, test limits, do everything except actually cheat. And when I'd question it, she'd cut my face, stare at me with those perfect eyes, and somehow I'd end up apologizing to her. Suddenly, it was our 1-year anniversary, and I planned everything perfectly just for her. I was about to knock on her apartment door to surprise her when I heard voices through her open window. Ashley and her friends, all Instagram model types, who made fun of me whenever they visited. Ash, I still don't get it, her friend Jenna was saying. Why are you with him? You could have literally anyone. I stepped closer to the window, still holding the roses like an idiot. Ashley laughed. You want to know a secret? He'll never leave me. Ever. I could do anything and he'd take it. I have complete freedom. I go to Miami, he waits. I hang with my exes, he deals with it. Tom keeps flying me places. Brad takes me to dinner, but this one? She laughed again. He worships me. Like actually worships me. But don't you want someone better? Another voice asked. Eventually, yeah. But you know how Brad destroyed my confidence when he cheated with that bartender? This one looks at me like I'm God. He tells me I'm perfect every morning. Begs me not to leave him. I need that right now. I heard them all giggling. Once I feel like myself again, I'll find someone on my level. But for now, he's exactly what my ego needs. Like therapy, but free. They all burst out laughing. I stood there, flowers in hand, and knew something had to change. She needed me for her ego. Time to take away her supply. I spent the next 2 weeks planning exactly how to destroy what Brad had already cracked. I sat in my car outside her apartment, those roses wilting on my dashboard, mapping out every detail. I'd text her about a romantic sunset surprise. Tell her to wear something cute but casual. Take her to the lake where I'd rented a canoe. Painted it up with her name, flowers on the seats, the whole thing. She'd love the effort, the Instagram potential. I'd paddle us out to the middle of the lake as the sun started setting. She'd be in front, unable to see my face, just feeling like a princess being rode around. I'd stop in the perfect spot, golden light, completely isolated, water stretching in every direction. Set up the champagne I'd brought, strawberries, making it look like a proposal setting. You look perfect, I'd tell her, taking photos as she posed with the sunset. Feed her ego completely. Tell her Brad was insane, that she was a goddess, that I was the luckiest guy alive. Let her get comfortable tipsy, satisfied with my worship. Then I'd put the paddle down. We'd be floating in the middle of the lake, at least 20 minutes from shore. No other boats around, just us in this tiny canoe, her facing forward, me behind her. Ashley, I need to tell you something. She'd turn around awkwardly in the narrow canoe, probably expecting me to propose. The boat would rock slightly, reminding her how unstable everything was. I'm not attracted to you anymore. She'd be stuck. Couldn't leave, couldn't even move without risking tipping us. Just trapped in a fucking canoe while I explained. The physical attraction is completely gone. Has been for weeks. I look at you and feel nothing. My voice calm like I was discussing the weather. I think I can do better. She'd have to sit there. Nowhere to run, no way to escape, as I slowly paddled us back. 30 minutes of silence except for the paddle hitting water. Her face burning, trying not to cry, realizing her charity case boyfriend just destroyed her in the middle of a lake where she couldn't even storm off. The slowest, most inescapable rejection of her life. First, I had to wait for the perfect day. Clear skies, warm but not too hot. The kind of weather that makes people want to be outside. I checked forecasts obsessively, picked a Saturday 3 weeks out, and started dropping hints about a special surprise. I drive to the lakeboat rental at sunrise while Ashley sleeps, my hands steady on the wheel. Today I'm going to hurt her the same way Brad did, except this time there won't be anyone like me to fix her. The guy at the rental place helps me load the canoe I'd reserved and decorated yesterday. Her name painted in cursive on the side, fake roses twisted around the seats. He whistles at the setup, says some girl's gonna be real happy. I just nod and pay cash. Back home, I prep the cooler with champagne, strawberries, chocolate, the expensive stuff she always takes pictures of. I fold a blanket, pack towels, make everything look perfect. My phone buzzes with her good morning text, a selfie from bed, hair messy, asking what I'm up to. I text back that I'm planning something, add a heart emoji that feels like swallowing glass. Around noon, she texts asking what I'm doing. I tell her I'm planning something special for tonight, keeping my voice happy when I call back. I tell her to wear her white dress, knowing she'll spend hours getting ready. The one with the low back that she bought with Tom's money but told me she got on sale. She squeals about how romantic I am, says she'll start getting ready now even though I won't pick her up until 6. I spend the afternoon rehearsing what I'll say, how I'll say it, calm, matter of fact, like discussing tomorrow's weather while her world falls apart. I practice in the mirror until my face gives nothing away. This is what she made me into, someone who can plan cruelty like other people plan vacations. I pick her up up at 6. She's excited, taking selfies in my car, posting about her sweet boyfriend while I drive to the lake. She doesn't notice how quiet I am or how tight I hold the wheel. She's too busy checking how many likes her post got, talking about how Jenna's jealous because her boyfriend never does anything thoughtful. She reaches over and squeezes my thigh, says she's the luckiest girl in Jersey. My stomach turns, but I force a smile. The drive takes 40 minutes. She fills the silence with stories about her week, how some guy at Starbucks tried to get her number, how Tom keeps messaging even though she told him she's taken, how her follower count went up by 200. She shows me comments from men calling her a goddess, an angel, perfection. She's fishing for compliments, waiting for me to say she's even more beautiful than they think. Instead, I just watch the road. At the lake, her eyes get big when she sees the canoe with her name painted on it, the wine, the flowers. She squeals about how amazing it is, already thinking about Instagram photos. She makes me take 12 pictures of her posing with the boat before we even get in, adjusting the flowers, fixing her hair, making sure the light hits right. She posts one immediately with a caption about having the best boyfriend ever. Tags me even though I don't use Instagram anymore. I help her into the front of the canoe, making sure she's comfortable, giving her wine while she takes sunset photos. She says I outdid myself, and for a second I remember when those words would have meant everything. When I would have screenshot her posts and looked at them before bed, amazed this girl chose me. Now I just hand her the champagne and tell her she deserves it. I paddle us toward the middle of the lake while she poses and laughs, telling me about some expensive bag Tom offered to buy her. She says she told him she has a boyfriend like she's doing me a favor. She describes the bag in detail, the designer, the price, how there's a waiting list, but Tom knows someone. She asks if I think she should have taken it, just the bag, nothing else. I tell her whatever makes her happy, and she frowns because that's not the jealous reaction she wanted. 20 minutes from shore, no other boats around, just us in the golden light while she talks about getting more followers. I stop paddling and pour her more wine, telling her she deserves everything good. She's planning a photo shoot with some photographer who messaged her, says he works with real models, could help her career. She doesn't have a career. She has an Instagram account and a marketing degree she's never used, but I don't point that out, not yet. I start talking about Brad, saying he never saw how special she is, how she lights up every room, how lucky any man would be to know her. What's making her keep testing these boundaries with yacht parties and other guys' DMs while she's supposedly in this relationship? Something's driving this pattern of pushing limits then coming back to cuddle. There's definitely more going on beneath all this Instagram posing and champagne popping that we're just starting to glimpse. My voice is warm and kind. She loves when I trash Brad, loves hearing how much better she is than the bartender he cheated with. I tell her Brad's probably miserable now, probably realizes he lost the best thing that ever happened to him. The champagne and compliments work perfectly together. She's glowing, eating up every word, and I keep building her up, calling her perfect, saying Brad was stupid. The boat rocks as she turns to face me better, her eyes bright. She's buzzed now, happy, feeling worshipped exactly how she likes. She starts telling me about running into Brad last week, how he looked at her with regret, how his new girlfriend is pretty but basic. She says Brad texted her after, wanting to talk, but she ignored him because she has me now. She reaches for my hand. I say her name and put down my glass. Something in my voice makes her freeze. I tell her I need to say something important, and she looks at me, probably expecting me to propose. Her eyes go wide, her mouth opens slightly. She sits up straighter, smooths her dress. This is it, she's thinking. The proposal she can post about, the ring she can show off, the story she can tell about the romantic lake proposal. She's already planning the caption. I tell her I'm not attracted to her anymore. In fact, I haven't been for weeks. When I look at her, I feel nothing. I say it calmly, watching her face change from excited to confused. The words hang in the air between us. She blinks twice, fast, like she's trying to clear her vision. The canoe rocks gently. A bird calls from the shore. She's frozen, champagne glass halfway to her lips. She laughs like it's a joke, but I just stare until her smile goes away. She asks what I'm talking about, and the canoe rocks hard as she tries to turn around, seeing she's stuck in this tiny boat. Her dress catches on the seat. She can't move properly, can't stand up, can't storm off like she usually does when things don't go her way. She's trapped in a space smaller than her bathroom, floating in the middle of a lake with someone who just shattered her expectations. I keep talking like we're discussing the weather. I tell her she's pretty but boring, without anything else. Very, very boring. I mention how she tells the same stories, takes the same photos, has the same conversations about followers and likes and who messaged her. I say it's like dating a very attractive robot programmed with only 5 responses. She tries to interrupt, but I keep going. My voice never changing, never getting mean, just stating facts. Her face goes red, then white. She looks around at the empty lake, the far shore, understanding she's trapped here until I paddle back. She whispers that I can't be serious, but I just start paddling. Slow, steady strokes, no rush. We have at least 20 minutes before we reach the dock, and she knows it. She's checking her phone, but there's no service out here. No way to call for help, no audience to perform for. For 5 minutes, she argues, lists all the men who want her, but I just keep paddling without answering. The only sounds are the paddle in the water and her voice getting more upset. She mentions Tom's yacht, Brad's texts, the photographer, the guy from Starbucks, some athlete who likes all her photos. She's building a case for her desirability, but I don't respond. I just paddle and watch the sun sink lower, painting everything gold and orange. She tries to flirt with me, posing in the dress she wore for me, but I don't look. I tell her I can do better, and she gasps like I hit her. The words land exactly how I knew they would. Brad told her the same thing when he left her for the bartender. She starts to say something, stops, tries again. Her hands shake as she sets down the champagne glass. It tips over, spilling on the canoe floor, but neither of us moves to clean it up. The next 10 minutes are quiet, except for her trying not to cry, shaking while she faces forward, unable to leave or storm off like usual. She's just stuck while her charity case boyfriend paddles her back after destroying her. I can see her shoulders trembling, hear her breathing get ragged. She's typing something on her phone even though there's no service. Probably writing what she'll say to Jenna, how she'll spin this. But out here, she can't spin anything. She just has to sit with it. At the dock, she scrambles out so fast, she almost falls in the water. Her hair messy, makeup running. She calls me sick, but her voice breaks. I just untie the canoe like she's not there. She stands on the dock for a moment, looking lost, like she doesn't know where to go. Her white dress has champagne stains. Her heel catches in the dock boards. The sun's almost gone now, and she looks small in the dying light. I drive her home with without talking while she stares out the window. When we get to her apartment, she slams the door hard. I sit there feeling dark satisfaction, then drive home. The roses from our anniversary are still on my dashboard, completely dead now, petals falling onto the floor mats. I throw them in her building's dumpster before I leave. That night, she texts me 20 times, angry, confused, asking what she did wrong. I don't answer any of them, just save screenshots of her falling apart. She goes from rage to bargaining to pleading in the span of 3 hours. You can't be serious. Is this about Tom? I'll block him. Please answer me. I'm sorry for whatever I did. You're scaring me. Please. I love you. Don't do this. The last one comes at 3 a.m. I'm coming over tomorrow. Next morning, she shows up at 7 a.m., banging on my door until I open it. She pushes past me saying we need to talk. She's not wearing makeup, looking more scared than I've ever seen. Her hair's in a messy bun. She's wearing sweatpants and one of my old t-shirts she kept. This is Ashley without the armor, without the performance. She looks younger, smaller, more like the girl Brad destroyed than the goddess who collects men's attention. She sits on my couch and says sorry, says she knows she hasn't been good to me, promises to change, to stop talking to Tom and the others. She begs me not to do this, looking at me like I'm everything. She says she'll delete Instagram, block all the guys, stop going to Miami. She says she was stupid, selfish, that she didn't realize what she had. Her hands twist in her lap. She's not used to begging, doesn't know how to do it right, keeps starting and stopping sentences. I sit across from her, letting the quiet grow until she squirms. Then I say, I need time to think. She looks relieved, thinking she has a chance, not knowing this is just the start. She asks how much time. I shrug. She says she'll wait. She'll do whatever I need. She reaches for my hand, but I pull back. She nods like she understands, but I can see the panic in her eyes. Ashley's never been rejected, never been the one who has to work for someone's attention. For the next week, I'm perfect for 3 days, then cold for 2, then nice for 1, keeping her confused. She starts texting constantly, needing to know I still care, asking where I am. When I'm warm, she relaxes, sends happy selfies, talks about our future. When I'm cold, she spirals, sends paragraphs about her feelings, shows up at my work with lunch. The pattern breaks her down faster than constant cruelty would. She never knows which version of me she'll get. Lucas Walker at work notices and pulls me aside at lunch. Lucas saw Ashley drop me off, clinging to me. Lucas asks what I'm doing to her, says she looked scared of losing me. Lucas has been my friend since I started here 3 years ago, the only one who knew how much Ashley's behavior hurt me before. Now Lucas looks at me like I'm a stranger. I tell him I'm giving her what she wanted. Lucas looks at me for a long time, then tells me to be careful. When you mess with someone's mind, you can't always control what happens. Lucas mentions a cousin who played these games with an ex, how it ended with restraining orders and therapy for everyone involved. I say this is different. Lucas says it always is, until it isn't. That weekend, Ashley skips Tom's yacht party to stay with me in my small apartment, touching me constantly like she needs to know I'm still there. She shows me the invitation Tom sent, the photos from last year's party, says she's choosing me instead. She cooks dinner badly, trying to be domestic, burns the chicken and apologizes 5 times. She stays up until I fall asleep, watching me like I might disappear. I mention that Maya from my gym asked for my number, watching Ashley go pale. She tries to sound casual asking what I said. I shrug and say Maya's pretty interesting. Maya Patel barely knows I exist, just asked about the Wi-Fi password once, but Ashley doesn't know that. I describe Maya in detail, her job in finance, her marathon training, how she speaks 3 languages. All facts I made up or overheard her telling someone else. That night, Ashley goes through my phone while she thinks I'm asleep, looking for other women, finding nothing because I've been careful. But now she's worried, and I watch through barely open eyes as she checks everything. She goes through texts, emails, Instagram, even my work Slack. She checks my gym app to see when I go, probably planning to show up during my workouts. She takes photos of my calendar with her phone. She's never done this before. She was always the one with secrets. I go to the gym more, coming back talking about great talks with Maya, how smart she is. Ashley starts working out too, trying to compete with a woman who barely knows I exist. She buys new workout clothes, asks me to teach her about weights, posts gym selfies she never would have taken before. She asks what Maya looks like, what she wears, if she's prettier than her. I stay vague, which makes it worse. Jenna texts me asking what's happening, says Ashley is acting crazy, turning down every invite to focus on us. Looks like someone found the user manual for their very attractive robot and decided to reprogram it with psychological warfare. Fascinating how quickly those 5 responses multiply when you add fear to the equation. She says Ashley won't stop talking about me, which is weird since she used to barely mention me. Jenna says Ashley canceled a brand deal, a real one with real money, because the shoot was the same day I mentioned maybe doing something together. Jenna asks if Ashley's okay, if I'm okay, if everyone's lost their minds. The rich guys in Ashley's messages start giving up as she ignores them or sends pictures of us. Tom stops inviting her, Brad stops texting, the others move on to girls who answer. She shows me proudly, like a cat bringing dead birds. Look, she says, I'm not talking to any of them. She doesn't realize she's cutting off her own escape routes, burning bridges she'll need later. One night, Ashley breaks down crying, saying she loves me. She's never felt this way. She can't lose me. She says she knows she was terrible before, but I mean everything now. She ugly cries, mascara everywhere, nose running. This isn't the pretty crying she does for sympathy. This is real, raw, the kind that makes her face blotchy and swollen. She says she thinks about me all the time, can't eat, can't sleep, feels sick when I don't text back. I hold her while she cries, feeling the power rush through me. This beautiful girl who had rich guys begging is now destroyed by the thought of me leaving, and I did this. I made her need me more than she's ever needed anyone. She's shaking in my arms, saying my name over and over, begging me to say I love her. I stay quiet, just holding her, letting her feel the absence of the words she needs. Then she says something that cuts through my satisfaction. I know what you're doing. She pulls back, eyes red but clear. You're punishing me, making me feel what you felt. She wipes her nose with her sleeve, something the old Ashley would never do. She says she heard me that night, outside her window, heard everything she said to Jenna about using me. She's known this whole time. We stare at each other, both masks off, seeing each other clearly. I say she was using me for her ego. She nods and says now I'm using her for revenge. I can't deny it. We sit in the truth of what we are, 2 broken people breaking each other more. She says she probably deserves it. it. I say nobody deserves this. She laughs, but it's bitter. Nothing like her usual bright sound. She asks what we do now. I see we're trapped, both hooked on this sick game. She needs me to tell her she's worth something, and I need the power of saying no. We're addicts and each other's drug. She says maybe we should just admit we're toxic and stay together. At least we won't hurt anyone else. I think about all the normal people we could destroy if we were loose in the world. We try to break up 3 times over the next month, but she always comes back and I always let her in. Each time gets worse, more desperate, both of us spinning out of control. The first time lasts 2 days before she's at my door with coffee and apologies. The second time I make it 4 days before I text her. The third time we don't even make it home from the breakup conversation before we're back together. Her friends try to help her, saying she's lost herself, needs to get away from me, but she fights them, cuts them off one by one, saying they don't understand what we have. Jenna stops texting after Ashley calls her jealous. Other friends get blocked after suggesting therapy. Soon it's just us in our toxic bubble, feeding off each other's damage. I can't feel normal things anymore. Everything is about power and control. When Lucas tries to introduce me to nice women, I feel nothing, can't connect, only know how to hurt or be hurt. One girl from accounting asked me to coffee, and I spend the whole time thinking about how I could destroy her if I wanted to. I see weak spots in everyone now. This one needs validation. That one fears abandonment. Another can't handle criticism. It's like developing a superpower I never wanted. Ashley starts saying she'll hurt herself if I leave, sending photos of pills, standing on high balconies. I see Lucas was right. I can't control this anymore. She's not bluffing either. She shows me old scars from after Brad left, tells me she'll do worse if I go. She's learned my game and raised the stakes so high I can't win without destroying her completely. One bad night after she shows up drunk and crying, I think about running away, moving to another state, starting over, but I know she'd find me. And worse, I'd let her. We're trauma bonded now. Can't exist without the push and pull. Normal relationships would feel like nothing after this intensity. We've ruined each other for anyone else. We hit bottom when she finds my notebook where I wrote everything. My plans, notes about her mind, posts I'd read about breaking people. She reads it all while I watch, both too tired to fight. She flips through pages of my detailed manipulation, the books I read about psychological control, the Reddit threads about destroying narcissists. She sees her name with notes like, mention Maya when she's happy, and 3 days kind, 2 days cold, 1 day perfect. She says we're both sick. I nod. We sit in my apartment with proof of what we've done to each other. 2 people who've turned each other into monsters. She asks if any of it was real, if I ever actually loved her. I ask her the same question. Neither of us answers because we don't know anymore. The truth is tangled up with all the games. I decide to try something new, become completely boring, no reactions to anything, good or bad. If we can't leave each other, maybe I can make her lose interest. I turn myself into nothing, a blank space where a person used to be. No opinions, no emotions, just existing. It's easier than I thought. I'm so tired of feeling everything so intensely. For 2 weeks, I'm like a robot, agreeing mildly with everything. No passion, no anger, no love. She tries everything, dressing up, fighting, threatening to see other men. I just say okay. When she wears lingerie, I say she looks nice. When she screams at me, I say I understand. When she says Tom invited her to Cabo, I say that sounds fun. Nothing reaches me because I've gone somewhere she can't follow. She gets desperate, goes on a date with Tom, sends me photos from his place. I just text, hope you have fun. She comes home furious that I don't care. She shows me the messages where she turned down Tom's offer to stay the night, expecting praise or jealousy. I just nod and go back to watching TV. She throws my phone at the wall, but I just pick it up and keep scrolling. The less I react, the more frantic she gets, like someone whose drugs stopped working. She tries being perfect, terrible, sexy, mean, but nothing gets through my wall. She cooks elaborate meals I barely touch. She breaks things I don't replace. She cries real tears I don't wipe away. She's experiencing what I felt all those months, loving someone who feels nothing back. Finally, she shows up looking defeated. She says I win. I broke her worse than Brad did. She doesn't know who she is anymore. She's lost weight. Her hair's dull. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. She says she used to know exactly who she was. The hot girl, the one everyone wanted, the prize. Now she's nothing. Just some crazy girl begging for attention from someone who planned her destruction. I look at her in my doorway, this beautiful broken girl who once made me feel worthless, and I feel nothing. The victory I wanted tastes like ash, because destroying her destroyed my ability to feel. We've both become empty spaces where people used to be. She asks if I'm happy now. I tell her I don't feel happiness anymore, or sadness, or anything. We broke each other so thoroughly there's nothing left to break. She leaves without another word. No texts, no calls, no Instagram posts. She just disappears from my life as suddenly as she appeared. Her absence feels the same as her presence, a vast nothing where something used to be. I wait for relief or sadness or anything, but it doesn't come. I delete everything. Photos, screenshots, the notebook. I try to go back to my old life, but everything feels fake, like I'm pretending to be human without remembering how. I go to work, nod at Lucas, type code, eat lunch, go home. I'm a ghost haunting my own life, going through motions I remember but don't feel. Months pass in gray sameness. I work, go home, sleep, repeat. Lucas tries to talk about what happened, but I can't explain that I won but lost everything, including myself. How do you tell someone you carefully destroyed another person, and it destroyed you too? Lucas stops trying eventually, treats me like a stranger who looks like his old friend. A friend mentions Ashley's in therapy now, working through trauma from a toxic relationship. I laugh at how we hurt each other so perfectly we both need professional help. The friend looks uncomfortable, changes the subject. People talk about us in whispers now, the couple who went crazy and took each other down with them. Sometimes I catch myself studying new people, automatically finding their weak spots, what words would break them. It's automatic now, seeing everyone's breaking points. The barista who flinches at raised voices was yelled at as a kid. The guy at the gym who checks his phone constantly is desperate for validation. My new neighbor who apologizes for everything has been in relationships like mine. I see the cracks in everyone and have to stop myself from pressing on them. I try therapy too, but I can't be honest about what I did. Can't admit I carefully destroyed someone who trusted me, even if she was using me. The therapist says I have trust issues. I agree because it's easier than explaining I have whatever comes after trust issues, some unnamed thing where you can't even trust yourself. She prescribes pills that make everything even number. A year later, I see Ashley at a coffee shop. shop with someone new, looking healthy, calm, happy. We stare at each other across the room, two people who know exactly how evil the other can be. Her claim about hearing him outside her window that night feels way too convenient for this story. She knew his whole revenge plan this entire time, but still played along with getting destroyed. Her new boyfriend looks normal, kind, the type who brings flowers without ulterior motives. She's wearing less makeup, dressed simply, looking like a real person instead of an Instagram post. She nods once and leaves with her new boyfriend. I see she's moved on while I'm still stuck in that canoe, paddling in circles, unable to reach shore. My revenge became my own prison. I wanted to break her like Brad did, but I broke myself worse. She found help, found healing, found someone new. I found out that when you dedicate yourself to destroying someone, you have to become someone capable of destruction. And once you become that person, you can't go back. I sit in the coffee shop thinking about that night outside her window, holding those roses, hearing her laugh about me. If I could go back, I'd leave the flowers on her doorstep and walk away. I'd let her use me and leave me, and move on with my dignity intact. Instead, I became something worse than what she was. Someone who plans cruelty, who feeds on power, who destroyed love itself inside my own chest. The barista asks if I need anything else. I shake my head, leave a 20 for a $3 coffee, and walk home alone. Tomorrow I'll wake up and pretend to be human again. Go through the motions, maybe even smile at the right moments. But I know the truth. In trying to break Ashley, I broke the part of me that knew how to feel anything real. She recovered. She healed. She learned to love again. I learned that some victories cost more than any defeat. And some prisons don't have walls or bars, just the endless echo of who you used to be before you chose revenge over walking away. That 20 for a $3 coffee hits different when you realize it's still cheaper than therapy. If you made it to the end, drop a comment. I love reading all your comments.